Hi, we're back. So now we want to finish up the project by adding typography. This is fairly simple and straightforward. In this case, we're going to set each of these headlines separately. Notice that the baseline distance is quite a bit shorter than a normal carriage return would give you. We can adjust that, or we can set these as three separate lines. But I guess I'll show you how InDesign can handle that as well. We're just going to pay attention to the font. Is it a serif or sans serif? What about the headline here for Time Magazine? Well, I have an idea of what a good font is. It's not going to match exactly, but close enough is fine. This is a sans serif and quite a bold one at that. And then we're going to just make sure the colors match, red, etc., and white. Unless the image that you're using, you would find that to be inappropriate, and then you should adjust it for maximum clarity and readability. Okay, so let's start with time. So we're going to go back and forth here between Photoshop and InDesign. So here we are in InDesign. I'm going to use this box right here, this rectangle box, and click and drag right here. Then click the type tool and set your blinking cursor in here. And this font that matches the Time Magazine is called Optimus Primus. And guess what? Here on this home machine of mine, I don't have it. So good, that gives me another reason to show you something cool. So I'm going to bring back Chrome right here and head back, let's see, to Google homepage, and actually we're going to go to dafont.com, which is a free site that offers thousands and thousands of fonts. So dafont.com. Working on a small screen here, but what we need to do, this doesn't look good to me. Themes, authors, fonts. Let's take a look here. Okay, under themes, then we're looking for basic serif font, and then a serif is a font with the feet on it. And bingo, the top hit. This matches Time's font quite well. So from the font, click serif, themes, serif, and you're looking for Optimus Princeps, and hit download. And notice it arrives right here at the bottom of the browser in Chrome. I click the zip file and oops, bring it over here so you can see it. Come on, close that. Okay. You might as well install both of these, and so I unzip the folder, double click this, and right here you click install. And what's really cool is that, at least with Windows, it'll install it right into the exact folder that Photoshop, it's a Windows font folder, and Photoshop will find it right away without any delay. You don't have to reboot anything. Close that, and we might as well get, that was the semi-bold, and here's the regular one. This is the one we're really looking for. Install. Okay. So get rid of that, and the browser, and now we're going to look for the font, which is amazing that it's here already, but take a look. Optimus Princeps, regular. And what size? Why don't we shoot for 170 points to start with, and just type all caps Time. And it came up black, so let's highlight it and double click the color. Right here, color. I just had to click over, it's outside of your window, and I chose RGB color. And now I'm just going to grab a red, and that one, or I could have grabbed it off of the border too also, with the eyedropper right here. That works fine. And then click on the selection tool and click away, and you'll see that it's looks pretty good. And we'll check it against the Photoshop version. One little thing, notice that on this object, this box, that I had 1 point stroke turned on here. So make sure that's set to 0. That way you won't have a black line around each little box. Excuse me. All right. Let's give it some space for the headline above this box. Oops. And I'm going to click and drag another box. We're just blocking things in now, so don't worry too much about the placement yet. Okay. So here's this. I'll click inside of this. I'm going to start out with times because it looked like a fairly straightforward serif font. And for size, we could start with 30 points. And what did it say? Environment Special, the perils of plastic. And this is gray, that's white. Oopsie, what's going on? Hold on. I may have... No, I do have a right box. I was worried I put the wrong kind of box in here. But the color is grayed out here. So let's get the type in here. Click this, and I'm going to choose a gray color. And now we can type. And no, we can't. There we go. Environment Special, and now we'll choose white. The perils of plastic. 30 points is a little bit big, so let's swipe over this and drop it down. Let's try 24, and we can adjust it from there. Let's zoom in here, get that out of the way, and okay. Type tool. Let's center this. So I'm going to click this button right here. Okay. Let's take a look at the Photoshop version. Okay, it goes further across, and we'll take a look at where this time starts. It's about 1.25 inches in from the outer edge. So back to here to this time, starting at 3/4. So my time is too large. Let's do that too. Instead of 170, take it down 150, hit enter, and let's center it as well, right there, and click the selection tool. Notice that the gray type is getting lost in the forehead of Steve Jobs here, so I'm going to change this up a little bit. And click here and choose white also, and click away. We could add a drop shadow to that to make it show up, but just for now, for the sake of this, I don't want to take too much time tweaking things. I can see that we need the font a little bigger. I do want you to match the original exactly in terms of the font placement and size. So let's go to 26, enter 28, enter. That's better. I'm losing the edge of plastic, so let's stretch the box out a little bit. Here we go. There we go. I'll stretch it both ways out to the edge of the built-in margin here. Good. So that's basically it. You know, I need to now finish up. Let's do the next one here. Okay, draw this. And what's going on here? Inside Steve's pad, and then how jobs works. So we need a nice bold sans serif font. I'm just going to grab Arial. I know I can add a faux bold in here, and the size is going to be quite a bit bigger. Let's see. Inside. Oops, and we've got black, and it's too large. So click the color box again, double click it, and choose white. And we're going to tighten up the kerning between the letters and the leading. So let's do that, highlight it, and take this down. Inside, okay. Carriage return, Steve's, and carriage return pad. Notice that it disappeared because the box can't contain it. So we'll make the box bigger, and then we'll notice how the distance from the baseline to each, from this baseline to this baseline is quite wide, way wider than time used. In fact, if we go back and take a look at this, it's just about touching here, isn't it? Let's zoom in so you can see, okay. We've got a square over the eye. It's quite a bold thing. Let's see about this. Yep, Arial is matching pretty well. So go back to the type tool, highlight it, and now what we want to do is adjust. Right here is our leading, and I'm going to start out with something like 36 points, and notice that's a lot better. I'm going to add a couple of points to that, 38, enter. That's pretty good. Okay, let's get rid of that and click over here and adjust this box up so we can add a separate box for the other one now. Okay. Take a look at the font and the layout over here. Okay, we're back to a serif font. I'm going to use Times again, and probably somewhere from 12 to 18 points, but we'll take a look. How Jobs Works by Stephen Fry. Okay. Type tool, and click in the box. Times. I'll start out with 12 points, and instead of black this time I'll head it off with choosing white. And by Stephen, Stephen Fry, and then highlight this, and let's pick up that red with this eyedropper right into the border here. Okay, and then it instantly converted that. See? Okay, and the next title is The Tale of the Tablet by Lev Grossman. Notice this detail. Capital, lowercase. So this time template is flying in the face of what we would normally do with the title. where the Time art director has said no, and headlines on this cover we're going to just use one uppercase and the rest will be lowercase. Okay, so I have to fix that as well. By Lev Grossman. Okay. So click here. Works by Stephen Fry. Enter, and The Tale of the Tablet by Lev Grossman. And we're going to make that white. Double click our color here and choose white. Let's check the spacing here, and we're getting there. I'm going to leave that more or less alone, I think. Let's go back. This has to come up a little bit, or this down. Okay. And last thing we need is Times address in here. Oops. Okay, that can be black. Oh, we need a box. And look at it stroked 1 point again. You got to watch that. So turn that off and take your type tool and Times New Roman, maybe 6 points. Let's see what that does. Time.com, maybe 8 points. All right. And the date. Let's go back to Photoshop. We're almost done with this project. And, okay, hold on. April 12th, 2010. And notice how the outer edge of the O is aligned with the outer edge of the white here. And what about the placement? Same thing with time.com. The outer edge of the M is on the outer edge of the white stroke line. April 12th, 2010. Grab a rectangle. Watch that stroke, and 8 points. Excuse me. I can right justify this just by clicking that right justify button, and then you see that it aligns nicely with the outer edge here. And down here as well. Let's take a look at this. Get this box aligned and just right justify it, and all will be well. Okay, type tool and right justify it. Boom. Good. Control 0. Let's take a look how it's shaping up. And we're really very close, so I'm going to say it's done at this point without, going into further tweaking, but I would take a few more minutes just to check everything again. At this point, we want to save it. We want to export it. So save it also as a regular InDesign file so that you'll put into your folder, and it'll be an INDD type document, so we can call it jobs cover, or time cover, I guess. And into that same folder, you're going to save the image on the cover. Very, very important. And then the next thing I want you to do is export it. Export for Dreamweaver will give it a low-res version. If I were going to put it right into a web page, I'd probably choose this, but let's do regular export. And what kind of file is it going to be? It's just off the screen, sorry, here, but I'm choosing a a PDF, Adobe PDF. Okay, there we go, Adobe PDF, and save. Also in my book projects folder, save that. And it's asking now, as we export it, what quality we want. I noticed in version 5.5 at school that it also gave us a resolution and generating PDF. And then it should launch Acrobat at that point and display the PDF. At least it did at school. So if not here, then I can just go and find it by opening up Acrobat and browsing it. If you want, you can also export it as a JPEG image as well, and that would be fine. JPEG, and that'll preview beautifully too. Here we can choose the resolution. Go at least to 150 perhaps for looking at with a screen, even though 96 is the screen resolution. If we're going to publication and sending it out for print, it's got to be 300 dpi, and then click export. And so you've saved it as an INDD file, a PDF, and as a JPEG, and then upload that and your original picture up to your Google Drive, and you're all set. Good. So that's it. 21 minutes on this video. Sorry about the length, but there's a lot to cover. And one more video we'll have to cover laying out text boxes and the 2-page layout. See you in the next one.